morning, everyone. Welcome to This Day. It is Friday and it's April 24th. Well, it's very nice to see you today, and today is going to be a gorgeous day. But first, let's let you know who is on our show today. We have an update from Jeff Parker, and he has a variety of things that he wants to tell us about, including security, masks, and a variety of other things. So he'll be with us in just a little bit. But first, let's go ahead and give you reminders on all of the websites that you are able to go to. We can go to cdc.gov, and of course that is always for the helpful hints that you can do for the COVID-19, a variety of different ways to tackle stress and other things. And then of course the ochealthinfo.com is where you can find all the latest numbers of the cases, either tests that have been done or cases of COVID-19, and that it can be done per city. So you can go ahead and look that up on ochealthinfo.com. Now you can always go to our Laguna Woods Village alerts.com website, and that will have the latest information regarding COVID, as well as some other things. Like here on the left-hand side, you can go to all of my past interviews that I've done with Jeff Parker. Now you could email us any questions at info@lagunawoodsvillage.com, or you could go to our hotline, which is 949-268-2019. Now, one thing I did forget is this funny thing I found. It's called Quarantine Bingo. Now, the Quarantine Bingo gives you the free space in the middle where washing your hands, yay, everybody gets a free space. Then, of course, look around and see all the things that you may or may have done. Attended a virtual meeting, worked out at home. I think I could fill up this whole thing because I even took a nap, as you can see there. So anyway, super fun. Finding all these great things online is very creative. So anyway, other than that, hopefully you guys are still doing okay in our stay-at-home policies and trying to fill your time with lots of great things to do. Of course, our weather is looking lovely, so I'm sure you'll get outside and get some vitamin D. Today is going to be a hot one. It is going to be 94, whoosh, 66. Then we have very warm tomorrow, 87, 62. Sunday, 81, 60. Monday is going to be pleasant, 78, 60. And then on Tuesday, 78, 59. Very nice. So we aren't looking at any rain here for quite some time. Now, let's take a look at our sunrise and sunset. Our sunrise this morning was 6:10 a.m. and our sunset will be at 7:28. Thank you so much to Ben Givens for this beautiful photo down at Heisler Park from Laguna Beach. So we appreciate you sending that in. If you have a photograph that you would like to send to us and air it on our news program, please send it to the email at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. We will be right back with Jeff Parker updates, so stay tuned.
May know Age Well for delivering life-saving Meals on Wheels to homebound seniors. But did you know they keep seniors active and engaged at 10 modern centers? Serve nutritious congregate meals amid friendly surroundings. Transport seniors safely to and from appointments, and provide much-needed equipment and other essential services. Now, this vital nonprofit organization needs your support to sustain its mission. This is Age Well Senior Services. Won't you make it yours?
Welcome back, where we have Jeff Parker here to give us all the latest and greatest on our Friday. Well, welcome. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Good morning. Well, thanks for being with us.
It's a pleasure, always.
Well, what do you have for us? You have some new stats to talk about.
Yeah, I have quite a few pieces of information to give you. One, we just wanted to, again, address the COVID-19 numbers. Unfortunately, the numbers seem to be increasing. In the 78 new cases in Orange County now, over 1,800 total cases. Again, I think this is related to the testing has gone up, so we're going to hear more. The sad part about that, in the sense that we have one additional case in Laguna Woods, again, in the city of Laguna Woods, not necessarily in the village, so we're now up to 8. But when I said sad point is that we're seeing the highest rates with regards to hospitalization in the county now. So the last 2 days we've had 162 and 158 individuals that are in the hospitals, either in ICU or just in hospitalization. But those have gone up, and I think that again is reflective of the way the curve works. Is the testing comes first, the acknowledgement of the cases comes second, then the need for individuals to get into the hospitalization. And again, the important thing for our community is we are a high-risk community with our age group, and if you have any correlating history of medical issues such as diabetes or heart disease or any of that type of activity, you're at a greater risk with regards to this virus. So again, just remember the mask, remember the social distancing. It's so important. Stay at home. It's going to be warm this weekend. We realize that, and people are going to want to get out. But the more activity and the more engagement there is with people, the more the potential of spreading this virus. So.
Well, exactly. And then I guess to take into consideration, I mean, if you compare those numbers to Los Angeles or New York, so much lower. So obviously we're all doing the right thing, and our numbers certainly are lower than most.
And certainly in the village. Laguna Woods in particular is one of the lowest numbers that you see even in the county of Orange, which is, like you said, is lower than other counties. And so just keep up the good work and keep that social distancing, wearing your mask, and I think we are together working to get through this.
Exactly. Now you have some new registrations that, well, maybe people who haven't registered their cars, RFIDs, you're still doing that. That process is still going on. Right.
In the past, obviously, with resident services being open here, individuals would come in here, get their car registered, get their RFD put on the car right outside in the back there. Not being open and addressing the social distancing, we have now a process in which individuals, if they have new registration, get their new RFID, can email community access at community.access@vmsinc.org, and that will set up an appointment. So all we ask you to do is take a picture with your phone of your registration, send that in with on that email. We'll set up an appointment, get it all taken care of, and then we'll have security actually go out, verify the registration, and put your RFID on for you. You don't have to move your car, you don't have to get out of your unit.
That's great. I mean, that's a really nice service, so that's perfect. So we've been reading that there is an awful lot of talk about golf courses opening. I think supervisors went ahead, but there's a lot of restrictions, and there's some things that you need to keep in mind. Is that also going to apply for our golf course?
It is. So on Tuesday, the Board of Supervisors approved giving local agencies, i.e. the City of Laguna Woods and us in particular owning a private golf course, that you could go back and evaluate reopening your golf course with restrictions. Obviously, the focus still on social distancing and how you would require that. How would you keep everything clean, sanitized, all of those. So we're putting together our new rules and regs with regards to that, how you're going to register. We had a different system. Now you're going to have to go online. We're looking at an online system where people can get 7 days in advance, get their tee times registered. Our tee times are going to be a little more separated so that we don't have sometimes what happens is you get a backlog and all of a sudden there's eight people at a tee box instead of 4. We don't want that to occur, so we're going to have to create that social distancing within there. Rules and regulations on using carts, individuals in carts, that type of activity.
I see.
We will have those rules and regs pretty well put together next week, and we're hoping we're working on our landscaping with regards to getting the golf course ready. So we're really targeting probably the 11th of May as our reopening, which we're very excited about. But there will be a new process, and it won't be the same as usual with regards to how we're going to operate that golf course.
So where will people be able to find that information?
Well, we're going to do it two things. We'll send out a blast, definitely for sure. Then I'll be back on TV on Monday or Wednesday for sure. If we have that ready to go, we'll provide it there. And then we'll get it out on TV. We'll get it out through a blast. And certainly Tom, who operates our golf course, will have the information at the golf course.
Okay, great. Okay, perfect. So the masks we talked about last time, you guys had collected quite a few, and then I know you've had volunteers helping to distribute them. So what is the latest on your masks?
So the good news is that we had a lot of masks delivered to us. So we've been working on putting those masks together. Those are like the surgical type masks.
Right.
And so the elastics came separate, so we had to put those together. And we did, as you said, got a number of volunteers to help put those together. And then we started distributing those in certain areas in the village that we had volunteers for.
Great.
And also using our security and individuals that had come through the process. So we're very successful in getting about 50% of the masks that we had. We had 20,000 that we were shooting to get out. And so we have about, I would say about 50% of those have been distributed already.
Wow.
So what we're now doing is, because that's a little difficult for the whole village, we're getting the volunteers to help us put together the masks. We'll get them all put together, and then we'll probably do one more kind of mass distribution where we'll ask people to come by 1 or 2 clubhouses, again, socially separating each, the group coming in so we aren't not crowded, but we'll probably distribute the masks that way.
You could do a drive-by.
Yeah, that kind of an activity would be exactly what we'd be looking at.
That's great.
And so it's great, and we're hoping to get some more masks in this next week. So if we can do that, we'll continue until we have the word from people that they don't need it anymore. But if you are in search of masks or you do need it, go ahead and call social services, and then they'll coordinate with our communication team on helping get those distributed.
Okay, perfect. Or you could also email info at lagunawoodsvillage.com. So, okay, good. And one last thing is of safety concern is that, people are opportunists no matter what's going on.
We sent out a communication to our community, and this was promoted by the Orange County Sheriff's Department working with our security. Unfortunately, we had a couple of vehicles that were stolen in our community, and a couple, I believe both of them have been recovered now. Which is good news. The individuals, as we went through the investigation, that we found out in both cases, keys were in the car. And so what we are just encouraging people to understand and getting the word out is, please lock your car, take your keys into the home, don't leave them in the car, because there are, like you said, individuals out there. And we have a little bit of concern, and we're upgrading our security, and they did a really good job in trying to locate these vehicles really quick, working with the Sheriff's Department.
Right.
But the risk is there, and whenever you become vulnerable by leaving your keys in the car, you just make it too easy for that kind of individual to come around and take a car.
I think it's easier nowadays because they have fobs, right? And those little fobs you just stick in the middle, and then you get out of your car and you totally forget. So we have to remember to put them in a pocket or a purse or something, because it's a lot.
It's very easy to forget that.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt.
Absolutely. All right, well, wonderful. Well, we're looking forward to more information. I know everybody can't wait to get out there and golf, so we look forward to that info.
One of the things I wanted to mention on that too is we also are looking at what we'll call phase 2 and phase 3 of our whole recreation program. But at this point in time, there are no recommendations by the Orange County Supervisors or Orange County Health for any other activity. So I know I'm going to hear from tennis players and pickleball players and swimmers. When are we going to be able to get out there? At this point in time, we don't have anything from OC Health or the supervisors that indicates that we can open up those facilities at this time.
Right. Well, they're being very careful, so that's a good thing, because we want to be able to roll it out without having any, upticks in any new cases. So.
Exactly.
Well, good. Well, thank you so much. Nice to see you, and have a
Nice
great
to see
weekend.
you too. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. And remember that you could always send an email to info@lagunawoodsvillage.com if you want to know any more about what we've just discussed with Jeff. We'll be right back. welcome back. Well, today I'm joined with Dan Oweiler, who is here with Sterling Financial. And I know now we have a lot of questions and a lot of concerns about our finances. So hopefully he will be able to answer some stuff for us. Well, welcome. Thanks for joining a Zoom.
Well, glad to be here. It's been a few weeks since I've been able to come in live and be interviewed, and there's been a lot going on since then, but happy to be here today.
No, and thank you for doing our Zoom. This seems to be our new norm for now. So we'll have to conduct our interviews like this.
Norm.
I know.
It's everybody's new norm right now.
That's probably why sometimes it's hard to log in because so many people are using Zoom, but nonetheless, glad we can have you on. So let's take a look at kind of where things are at right now.
Well, I think it was probably been a month since I've been on with Ken and as an interview. For years I've been sponsoring This Day on Channel 6, but there's a lot of, obviously, the stock market crash has come as a result of this, and I think that the stock market needed an excuse to correct, to be honest with you, but it does impact us because businesses across the country are going to be impacted by this. If you look at some of the major industry, travel industry, vacation industry, cruise lines, they're all having problems financially, and as a result of that. And so the market's going to react to that. And unfortunately, if clients have had money in the market, they're going to get pinched just like everybody else does.
Right.
I've always maintained that in retirement, it's not how much money we make, it's how much money we keep that matters. And so sometimes our approach is we'll give up some of the upside to protect against the downside. And so we're not always out there trying to hit home runs. We're trying to hit a lot of singles without striking out.
Yeah. So I would imagine you've had to make some adjustments. I mean, obviously this came really fast. The stock market started, taking dives, and then it went back up, and then it took a dive again. So it's really volatile. So in changing behaviors, what are some things?
It's really tough when the market reacts that quickly. It's one thing if you're having a bear market over a 6-month period, you can kind of react. But when it does it in 1 to 2 weeks, it's really tough to react that quickly with everybody. And so, sometimes for those people that are I have clients that say, I'm just going to write it out. It's done this before. Mm-hmm. Well, writing it out at age 45 is different than writing it out at age 65 or 70. We sometimes don't have the time to do that. And so, it's a little bit different approach depending upon what your age is. And so writing the markets out is a little bit different for a 75-year-old than it is a 45-year-old.
Right. Well, what are some things that people are concerned about right now? What are some of your most popular questions?
When's it going to turn around?
Magic ball here, right?
I have my crystal ball ready. It's at the cleaners right now. It's pretty cloudy. Yeah. But, a lot of my clients, they've come to realize, hey, I don't need to get the 15 or 20% return. I just need a safe place to accumulate money, and we're using some safe annuity type products right now that still allows them to get a decent return, but they're not going to hit a home run.
Right.
And so, there's a lot of opinions about annuities, and there's good annuities and bad annuities. It's just right now when interest rates are so low, if we are getting 8% in CDs, we'd all be in CDs right now. But with interest rates almost at nothing, you can't earn anything in the banks.
Right.
And so we need to find a safe place to accumulate money without risking it too much.
Right. And then, obviously there isn't a lot that can be done right now. I mean, there's a few things that you're mentioning, but, writing it out doesn't seem like a good idea, like you said, at a particular age. But then writing it out, when we finish this, what are some things that we need to do after?
Well, again, it depends on who I'm working with. Everybody, financial plans aren't a one-shop stop. It varies with each individual. I was doing seminars 3 months ago, warning people about a drop that's going to come. I didn't know when, but I look like a prophet now. But people who didn't listen now are experiencing that. I have some that said, "Hey, I got out of the market at the first of the year, and I'm glad I did." Going forward, if they end up writing it out, I don't know how long it's going to take to get back to where we were. That's the problem. After 2008, it took about 6.5 years just to recover to where the market was before it dropped. I don't know how long it's going to take. It seems, I heard this the other day, it seems very apropos that the market goes up like an escalator, but comes down like an elevator. The escalator goes up a little bit slower, but it comes down a lot quicker, Right. And so if somebody chooses to ride this out and they get back to where they are, my recommendation is to lock it in and then get into something that's not going to affect your life for years to come.
Right. Well, yeah, volatility, as we mentioned before, and like you said, in 2008, it came back in 6.5 years, but that didn't include all these businesses going under.
Oh, absolutely.
Now we have all these businesses too, so.
Well, I think that we've accumulated more debt over the last month than we can afford. My personal opinion is we're going to have a recession. Just because of all the businesses that have gone about. Like you said, Lisa, a lot of businesses are going to be going out of business as a result of this. And we're going to see the debt that we're servicing now is just going to be enormous, and we've picked up probably $3 or $4 trillion of debt in a matter of a month. And it's just ridiculous. It's great for our pockets for the short term. And politicians generally deal in the short term because they want to get reelected. Yeah. But the long term, we're going to have some major problems going forward as we climb out of this situation. Right.
So while people are staying home, the majority of our community is pretty much at home, doing what is asked of them by the government. What are some things that they should look at right now in their financial portfolio? Give us kind of like a checklist. What are some things they should be doing?
Well, if I knew where the market was going, I could tell them what to do. I could say, well, even though the market is down, we maybe want to move out, and get into some safe things right now. But if the market goes up or goes down, I had a client when this started, thought she had some money in the market. And she said, I thought I could, my risk tolerance was a lot more than it is. And I can't stand the volatility that we have here. Mm-hmm. And so even though the market had come down a little bit, we got her out and got her into something that is a little bit safer, but a little bit less potential return, but sure. a little more stable. So looking at, again, it's all an individual thing that, as I sit down with people, but the older people get, the less aggressive they should be, obviously. Right. What I have found is if people will just protect what they have, they'll probably be okay. It's where they try to get too aggressive and build that up that they run into problems.
Okay. Well, obviously during this time, you're probably not sitting down with people face to face. You're probably doing Zooms like this. And also, can they still contact you via phone too?
Yeah, we're a family-run business, and so we really are kind of self-isolated as we are. Our building is locked down, but we still can get people in. And I have clients, and we wear face masks, and we have hand cleaners, and we do get together when we need to. And so if there's somebody that really feels like they want to get together, we can do that. Unfortunately, even under today's circumstances, it might be a month or two before we can even meet on a person-to-person basis if the government keeps this in place. But I do meet with people when they're comfortable doing it because we're fairly self-contained as a family-run business. But if they would like to even talk on the phone or do a Zoom conference, they can certainly get in touch with us, and we'd be happy to do that.
Okay, perfect. I mean, there are ways around this, and we're finding all these ways, via phone, via Zoom. I mean, there's a lot of capability out there. And this is where I think it's wonderful that we have all this technology now.
Right. Well, it's interesting what the new norm is going to be after this.
Right.
I think about colleges who have shut down. There's no kids on campus. I've got a daughter-in-law that is taking a graduate course, and everything is done over Zoom and everything. And I'm wondering if the new normal, you're going to cut down on college costs because people can do it online now.
That would be ideal. Too bad I already put one through college.
That's right. But the new norm is going to be different. One of our foundations is our seminar marketing. We do a lot of seminar marketing in restaurants and things like that, and we've had to cut that out for the next few months. And will that start up again? Well, we don't know, but hopefully this won't last too long.
Well, like you said, your crystal ball is a little cloudy right now, so you better clean that off because we want some answers.
Well, the key is a lot of my clients, even though we've had some, haven't lost any money because we've had them in these types of annuities that don't, your principal is guaranteed, and so even though they didn't make any money this year, they don't lose any money, and that's what's critical. I have a lot to say that I can afford not to make money, Dan. I can't afford to lose money.
Well, right, absolutely.
And so,
Well, good. Well, I appreciate you taking the time with us. Thank you so much. You stay healthy.
Well, we should do this again in not too long a future. That's right. We'll try and get this moving along when we have some better answers, I think, as to where things are going. Hopefully the next couple of weeks. I'll get my crystal ball out. Yeah, please do. All right. Thank you, Dan. Good to chat with you. You too. All right. Take care. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And we'll be right back after this.
We consider hearing to be an essential part of your life. During this time of quarantine and isolation, you need to be hearing the best you can to understand how to stay safe and to hear your friends and family. Advanced Ear Care is offering service to everyone that needs help with their hearing aids, no matter where it was you purchased. If it's not working properly, please call for a free troubleshooting appointment. We even have hands-free, no-contact curbside service. There's no charge for this service. Advanced Ear Care is here to keep you hearing during these critical days.